Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful people, welcome back to another airline pilot vlog. For those new here, my name's Peter, aka Pilot Pete. I'm a 767 flyer, and today we start a 4-day trip. I'm gonna condense it down to 3 with deadheads. Today's Monday, starts with a deadhead to Washington Dulles IAD. So I'm about to finish packing, grab a company paid Uber to LaGuardia. We're flying LaGuardia direct to Dulles, and then I have a night flight tonight. Very rare Pilot Pete flying at night, but we're doing it tonight. Dulles to Memphis. So as always, if you wanna come along for the ride, let's go do it. I have no idea what area I am in around Dulles or Washington, DC for that matter, but I am a fan. Place is super nice, clean, safe. You got a Whole Foods right here. I'm currently walking to Flower Child, one of my favorite restaurants. I've only been to it in Atlanta, but I was pumped to see it's around here. You got an F45, a lot more food spots. Right near my hotel is like a Chipotle. I had Cava for lunch, and I went to Whole Foods to grab a snack, but I didn't even have to go to the hot bar today. There's Flower Child. Like I said, nice area. It reminds me a little bit of Buckhead, but Washington, DC style. The only thing I was bummed about, no gym that's on my like gym pass thing around here. Like I said, it's an F45, but I don't get access to that. There are a bunch of like CrossFit and yoga spots, but nothing that I had access to. Equinox, but not on that partnership level with them yet. Fingers crossed, so maybe soon. So gonna go enjoy a nice dinner at Flower Child before we head to bed. Beautiful people, good evening from Washington Dulles. It's gonna be a first time for me at this company flying out of this airport. I haven't done Dulles since, I don't know, like 10 plus years ago. I worked for a regional airline for about 3 months. I was based out of here for those 3 months. So it's been a long time since I've flown in and out of Washington Dulles. They run a tight ship here. You gotta get escorted. It's a whole thing, maybe because of our proximity to Washington, DC. I don't really know, but a lot of firsts. I haven't flown in 15 plus days because of vacation. Haven't flown at night in a long time, and haven't flown out of Washington Dulles. So that's all adding up to a good flight. Everything's gonna be fine, but it's fun getting back in the saddle. Just walking up to the 767, I forgot how big and beautiful she is. So it'll be fun. The captain's actually gonna take the leg. He hasn't flown in a while too. He just got off vacation himself. But check over the weather, it looks good. Clear night, it's nice and cool now. We're not sweating. And it's just 1 2-hour flight to Memphis. Something that's special about this flight though, we're flying, we got 4 jumpers, 2 are airline pilots, and 2 are not. So I guess we got some special cargo or something that has to be watched over by certain special people. No idea what it is. It's usually couriers for like animals, but I don't think it is this time. I think we're just carrying some special stuff. And I probably couldn't tell you what it was, even if I did know, which I don't at this point. But when I find out who we're flying and what we're flying, if I'm allowed to, I'll make sure to let you know in Memphis. But 2 hours in Memphis, first time back in just over 2 weeks. So we get it done. Greetings from Memphis, Tennessee. And I just remembered why I never fly nights, because that was one leg at 10:45, where it's Memphis time, 12:30 midnight, 1:30 East Coast time body clock. I am miserably tired, and we do a lot of night hub turns. So the captain I was flying with, the jump seaters that were on board, they're all going out in like 3 hours to whatever respective city. So no shot, I'm about to pass out. Good flight. It's funny flying after a long period of time off. It's like riding a bike, it really is, but like the little things is what you forget. Switches, valves here and there. I mean, nothing that would like make this flight unsafe, but you just gotta take your time, kind of get back in that groove. That plus just night flying, you know, not really used to that and just tired. You make a lot of small mistakes. But again, that's why there's 2 crew members. We didn't make any really mistakes, but you just kind of, you're a lot slower with things, I guess is the best way to say it. But I'm going to bed. I got some good kind of big news, at least for my company, but I'm too tired to share it, so you're gonna have to wait till tomorrow morning. But good night from Memphis. We'll see you tomorrow. Good afternoon from Memphis. Had a good night's sleep in the hotel, got breakfast across the street, got my workout in, because you already know it's non-negotiable, and just scrambling to go get ready for my flight. I do have that important news. I'm not keeping you guys on the hook. I'm just running a little bit late. So gotta pack up real quick, and then we're heading to JFK. Got only like a 13-hour layover. So my plan is to go home essentially and sleep in my own bed. So that's the plan. Might go to my girlfriend's spot a little bit closer in Brooklyn. Probably shouldn't. Probably should just go to the hotel and take the transportation and not deal with the traffic because it's such a short layover. But when I'm that close, I get kind of greedy sometimes and really want to do it. So gotta look over the flight plan still, put my uniform on, head to JFK, and I promise, when I land in JFK, I'll tell you all about the exciting news that the company just announced that I'm hoping brings good fortune to myself and my fly mates. Beautiful people from the ramp. We are back. Feel good. Enough of me though. Let's just admire the beautiful 767, her beautiful engines. It's a beautiful day. We're feeling good. We got 2 hours and 24 minutes up to JFK. Haven't decided who's gonna fly the leg yet. Just met the captain. Went over the flight plan, the weather, smooth skies, or is it clear skies? A little turbulence about an hour or so into the flight, but it's just me, another guy, and a bunch of chickens, so we'll be all right. Happy to be alive, folks. I realized I didn't tell you last night who those secret people were, so I found out 2 things. One, they're from the State Department, which means nothing to me. I guess they just work for the government, work with the government, and they were flying a package or had to guard a package that they couldn't tell me what it was. Trust me, if you know me at all, I peppered them a lot. What's in there, where is it going, who's it for, and they were very lip tight, sealed, and wouldn't budge an inch, so it is what it is. I thought that was weird though. I'd be like, if I was the captain, technically you're on my airplane, so I want to know what I'm flying, but there's obviously rules that the company has with these government agencies and contracts and special forces and State Department that I have no idea. Way over my head, way over my pay grade, but it was easy. They were very nice, easy flight, but we're back to day flying. Everything that I love, happy to get back in the saddle. Let's go to JFK. Folks, we made it to JFK. Well, we're in Brooklyn, not quite New York City. Close enough though for a home-cooked meal and sleeping in my own bed. Landed runway 22 left. Air traffic control going into New York was like, hey, you're probably gonna have to hold going in, a lot of traffic, but luckily we didn't have to do that. We made it work. How we doing? Yeah. How we doing? And overall good flight. Nice to be back in the saddle. Captain's leg though, so tomorrow will be my first actual flying, probably in like 15-20 days, so stay tuned for that. Home cooked meal tonight. My chef son SJ, what'd you cook for me?
We have chicken taco bowls.
All I'm gonna say, it better be good because I flew 3 hours to get here and then an hour in the Uber, but we're here. little quick layover, and then back after it tomorrow. Good morning, layover complete. Nice little JFK layover. Got to have a home cooked meal and not spend the night in a hotel, which is nice. Currently in the Uber on the way to the airport. Typical New York traffic. 30-minute ride. It's gonna take about 45 minutes, but we're gonna get there no problem. Just looking over the flight plan for our first leg of the day to Memphis, and it's pretty cool. On our iPad here, there's our route of flight: Robbinsville, Q430, all of these fixes. I don't actually have to plug anything in manually. I just hit open in FDX Pro. It pops it up automatically. Select fleet. I'm gonna tick the 767 and then load flight plan, and voila, all the fixes are in there. I don't have to, like I said, type anything in, which is super nice, and it automatically loads, and I can get a quick overview of our flight today. And then back on the flight plan, I'm looking over kind of fuel on board, NOTAMs that are pertinent to our flight, MELs, minimum equipment list. We do have one MEL today, but it has to do with the like cargo loading system. So the reason I bring that up, it doesn't really affect the pilots. We do get a lot of information prior to every flight, but the more comfortable you get and the more you do this, you kind of realize like what you can kind of not pay close attention to, if that makes sense. There's basically clips in the back that aren't working for the big cans that we load onto the airplane. So since I don't load the airplane, it doesn't really affect me, if that makes sense. So you do have to know everything, but you don't have to know everything, if that makes sense. So one leg, like I said, up to Memphis, and then we got our normal day turn in the hub, and then we're going Memphis to Fort Lauderdale. I'll be flying the plane, yes. First actual physical me flying in, let's see, today's like 17, 18 days. So stay tuned to hear about the landing score. We'll see if the captain wants to give me a grade or not. Otherwise I'll give you my self-critique. But 2 hours and 36 minutes, a little bit of headwind, and next stop is Memphis. JFK, favorite place to pre-flight. Really quiet today, but a beautiful day it is. Let's go fly to Memphis. Made it to Memphis, Tennessee. Flight is closed. Just landed in Memphis, Tennessee, checked into my sleep room, and overall good flight. About like a 20-minute delay leaving JFK, just traffic. So kind of taxied onto a runway. We single engine taxi because we had so much time, and then started up the second one about 5 minutes prior to departure, and then smooth sailing from there. Beautiful day to go flying. And then our little, I don't want to call it an incident, but we're coming down the arrival into Memphis on the Blues 4 RNAV arrival, and then we're getting vectored for the visual approach for 36 right. Look how far our downwind is. So right around here is when they normally turn you for the airport. As you can see here from FlightAware, we went like 20 miles south of the airport before getting turned. And that was actually a little bit our fault. So I was pop flying, and for whatever reason, we ended up on the wrong frequency. And I noticed it like 15 miles downwind. I was like, this is weird. We're really low. We're still cruising along. We're not getting told to make a right turn for vectors to our final. And then I realized the frequency we were listening to was tower frequency. So either ATC gave us the wrong one, which probably wasn't the case, or we just flipped the switch a little too prematurely, for lack of a better term. It's no big deal. We just went back to the approach frequency and like, oh, hey, there you guys are, and turn right, intercept the localizer, and land 36 right. So that's what we did, it all worked out. First landing back, like I said, in like 18 days. We're gonna go with a, I forgot to ask the captain, that's my fault, but on a score, like a 7.4 out of 10. Probably a pretty average landing, and for 18 days off, I'll take it. So only got about an hour and a half, actually 2 hours and a half here in Memphis before we gotta head to Fort Lauderdale. So gotta figure out what I'm gonna do, but yeah, let's go take care of some business, either running or working out, food, and then next stop is Fort Lauderdale. Quick update for those wondering, still no air conditioning in the airport car, but it's mid-September, so I figured, I think I won. I think I beat the hot summer Memphis heat. Windows down, it's not too bad. It's like 83 degrees right now, a far cry from the 100-degree summer heat. So I think for another season, we're good. But I wanted to tell you guys that good news that came out. We got a system bid. So that might not be that big of a deal at a lot of different airlines. They put out bids for different airplanes, bases, seat positions, meaning upgrades to captains, usually like every quarter, so 3 or 4 times a year. At my company though, they do not do that. It's one of the things I dislike the most about this company, is they don't do that. But they put one out. It's the first one in like over 2 years. And basically you can move positions. So you can bid for captain on the 757. You can change bases on the 76. So I wanted to go to Indianapolis. I can bid over the 777. And what your seniority can hold is what you can get awarded. So I have until the end of September 30th exactly is when the bid closes, to figure out what I want to do. So you guys are my family, my YouTube family. I need to know, what do you think? I don't think I'm gonna upgrade to captain, unfortunately. There's not that many captain upgrade slots. 2 bids ago there was, I didn't take it because I didn't want to be junior on the 757. But so here are kind of my options, my 2 or 3 realistic options. Option 1, stay put, 767. My seniority would be around 50% in the right seat here in Memphis. And right now I'm holding day flying. If you guys can tell, I fly a lot during the day, which I like. Good amount of deadheads here and there, which as a commuter I like as well. That's option 1. Option 2 is I stay right seat 76, but I go to Oakland, California base. Pete, why would you want to be a commuter from New York to Oakland? I don't want to be, but the Oakland base does all of the Asia flying. So they pretty much have like 88 to 90% deadheads all the way over to Hong Kong, Philippines, you name it in Asia. They deadhead you all the way over there, pay for your first class ticket. You fly around Asia for 10 or 12 days at a time, and then they deadhead you back to the US. So I could just deadhead from New York to Asia, rack up the miles, rack up the PD lay flats. That would be pretty cool. Or option 3 is 777. Right seat out of Memphis. Now I think I can hold, I know I can hold the 76 stuff. It's whether or not I can hold the 777. I think I could. The downside of the 777, 1, I'd be very junior, potentially even reserve here in Memphis. Reserve for a guy who does not live in base, no good. I do not want reserve. That's negative number 1. Negative number 2, pretty much all the trips are like 12 to 14 day trips, meaning when you're gone, you're gone. You know, right now I can massage my schedule. If I need a day off, I can get there. Here, if you have to drop your trip, which you can pretty much drop every trip, you're done for the month though. Your month is just completely wiped out. You're gonna make $0, and that's no good. We gotta make some money. So that's my options. Those are my 3. Comment below, Oakland 767, Memphis 767, or 777. What do you think I should bid for? I'll read your remarks. I'm curious, maybe there's something I'm missing that you guys could tell me. I will say this, 777 flying around the world, literally around the world, sounds pretty cool. I've never done it before. I'm all civilian, never was in the military, so I've never really seen the world. I kind of want to do it on the company dime too. I mean, they pay for my food and my hotel, and obviously the transportation, because I'll be flying the freaking plane. So let me know below, 76, 777, and we'll see what I get. So let me know what you guys think. Beautiful people from the ramp in Memphis. It's been a minute, but we're here, about to head to Fort Lauderdale. a hurricane just to the southwest of our route over like the Texas area right now and building, but it shouldn't be too bad for us. We're gonna obviously avoid it. Don't really want to fly through a hurricane today. Everything else is good to go. It's about 2 hours down to Fort Lauderdale, a little bit less. Windy here in Memphis though. Better than being hot. Next stop, Fort Lauderdale. Let's go get it. Folks, he's back. Good landing, 10 left at Fort Lauderdale. Just got to the hotel. Thunderstorms kind of come in, typical Florida weather in the summer, even though it's September. We're getting close to it being over, but thunderstorms kind of just diving and dipping and diverting around all of them. Honestly, wasn't too bad though. Landed 10 left. I don't want to go 9s. It's too soon. Although honestly, I think it might have been, but we'll be humble. We'll be humble. We'll go with a 8.7 out of 10. Tailwind landing. I mean, he's figuring it out. He's back. But we got the typical short layover here in Fort Lauderdale, about like 12 hours. So I'm gonna change out of the flight uniform and then put my running shoes on. I'm gonna go get a couple miles in, and I do my little trick here. I bring my shirt with me. I drop it off at Chipotle, hide it in the bushes, which sounds insane. I run a couple miles, shirtless, duh. Get the miles in, put the work in, because it's non-negotiable. Exactly. And then Chipotle to finish off dinner, shower, and then king bedtime. So let's go do it. Well, this isn't gonna be much fun. Pouring rain in Fort Lauderdale, but we got the shirt up here. We're about to go run over the bridge down towards the beach, 5 miles. I don't want to do it, but you already know, folks, non-negotiable. Let's get it. Well, it's definitely raining. I can guarantee you that. 2.5 miles into the 5, non-negotiable, folks. Woo! 4 miles in the books. T-shirt's still in the same spot. That was interesting to say the least. At one point, torrential downpour. I could barely see in front of me. The only reason I did 4 was about a mile short of my goal of 5. My left hamstring is tight, almost like a strain or a pull. Nothing like severe, just a slight muscle kind of inconvenience, we'll call it, but I don't want to push it. Obviously, I got a lot of miles I got to start putting in for this marathon, so got it done. Walking to Chipotle now. I deserve a lot of chicken. If you want to donate to the Children's Aid Marathon Fund, I hit my goal, which is freaking unbelievable. So thank you to everyone out there who supported me, threw in $1, $100, $1,000. I really, really appreciate it. The goal is met, but always good to raise more money for kids in need. So if you haven't already and you want to, it's in my description below. 100% of the funds go to the Children's Aid, help kids in need in New York City. So go get my chicken bowl, shower, get ready for bed. Good morning, beautiful people from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. My clothes are still soaked from last night. Tried to dry them out on my balcony, but we packed a bunch of wet clothes in the suitcase. But luckily, we got our last day today. 2 legs, Fort Lauderdale, Indy, captain's leg, and then about a 4-hour turn there, and then Indy, Newark with the back end deadhead. So your boy's gonna be getting paid to be at home a day early. We love to see it. Special flight today though, from Fort Lauderdale up to Indy. Special, I should say, packages. We're flying 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 horses up to Indianapolis. Unfortunately, I can't show you guys them unless I get permission from the horses, and I haven't figured out how to speak horse yet. Oh! See it? That's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So unfortunately, I won't be able to show them as we're cranking up the APU because it's hot in Florida. But it's pretty cool. I've flown horses a bunch. We fly them a lot here at our company. Their final destination is not even Indy. They have a long day. I think they got to go all the way to the West Coast and then out of the country. But yeah, pretty cool. We fly 2 handlers with them. So basically they'll sit in the jump seat. They're not pilots. They're handlers for the horse. Very nice people. There's special procedures that we got to go through. I got to check certain things on their documents, and then their equipment has to be stored in certain places. But like I said, we fly a lot of horses. Procedure is pretty down pat, pretty cool. But unfortunately, I said I can't even tell you what their names are. I haven't got them yet, the horses' names, because it's against policy. But Fort Lauderdale's buzzing early. There's the official bird of Florida, 7:57 landing. Let's go to Indy. Hello from Indianapolis, Indiana. Good 2.5 hour flight. The horses though, the stallions, were rocking and rolling. We did hit a little bit of turbulence, but man, were they bucking pretty hard. You could actually feel it in the flight deck from the cargo area, how loud they were getting. But the handlers did a good job. They were super nice people, telling us all about them. And then they told us an interesting tip, I guess, on landing. If you go heavy on the brakes and a lot of forward kind of stopping, it really affects the horses because all that weight goes on their front hooves and it's really uncomfortable for them. So long story short, we requested the longer runway 5 left in Indy was captain's leg. He buttered it on, and then we just let the airplane roll out. It's a 10,000, 12,000 foot runway, so plenty of distance. And then taxi right off. The handlers were happy. The furry friends were happy. It stunk, though. The last like 10 minutes on the taxi in, you could just smell the horses because they're not getting that really good circulating air up at altitude. But 4 hours here in Indy. Got one more leg to Newark. So I'm gonna go grab food and then get a quick workout in. I'm gonna rest the hamstrings. So probably just lift some weights in our Indianapolis hub gym, which we got here. I know I showed this before, but here's our sleep room. So just gonna use it to change. Nice and comfortable little spot, and then get after it. So excited to be done. One more leg, feeling good, feeling fresh. Let's go enjoy Indy. Captain and I went downtown, grabbed some lunch together. Got sweet green. His first time, he said he liked it. Now I'm just at the Indianapolis operations where they have our gym. Not too shabby for a little gym. As you can tell, no one's in here. He just left to go get ready. So he got about 40 minutes until showtime. Just finishing up a quick arms and shoulders workout, and then flying to Newark. We want to get out of here early. He's gonna try to catch a flight home, jump seat. Just gonna spend a night in Newark so he can get home a day early. And I want to get home because I got dinner plans with some friends. But yeah, not too shabby in here for a quick workout. It's like I would compare it to like a nice hotel gym with plenty of room. But I'm pretty upset. The last video I posted from in here, mindset is everything. I gotta scratch that off and write, it's non-negotiable. Maybe when I become chief pilot in 2 to 47 years from now. Beautiful people. One last time from the ramp in Indianapolis. Last leg, we're going out to Newark. It'll be my leg for the final get going. I don't know, I'm watching the 777 taxi right now, and it makes me think that could be me. If I bid over, I still need you guys to let me know below what you think I should do. They're headed to Liège, which I think is in Belgium, but even though Newark's home and I really want to go home, it'd be pretty cool to be flying out to Europe right now. I don't know. I think the 777 is is gonna win out on the bid. I don't know if I'll be able to get it, but it looks pretty sick. 2 hours, about hour 48 technically to Newark. Clear skies. Gonna go fast so that the captain can get home. No horsies this time around. Had a good workout, good lunch. Excited to be done, folks. Let's go get her done. Every airplane that you ever fly on, big or small, has these things called static ports. So we have 2 of them here on the 767, and what they do, they feed information into air data computers along with air from the pitot tubes, and that's how the airplane derives the altitude it's at, vertical speed, and it's based on pressure. So what the static port does, it measures the pressure of the air. So as you go up climb, your pressure is going to change in the atmosphere. So that's how the instruments get their information to us. It's a lot more complex in jets than it is on, like, say, a small Cessna or Piper Warrior. But we have dual backup systems, and here's our main primary pitot and our static port on the right side. If you can read the note, it says do not plug or deform holes. Area must be smooth and clean. And that's because any sort of deformities or interruptions on that could ultimately give you false readings of altitude and things like that. So we got to make sure those are nice and clean, which ours are. Time for a safe flight to Newark. As you can see here on the chart, runway 5 left, or 5 right, the runway we're departing is 10,000 feet of pavement, but it's actually shortened because they're doing construction. But it's pretty cool. In our takeoff performance, we can actually just put in the shortened, and it tells us that it's shortened at the end by 2,050 feet. We still get takeoff numbers for it, but an interesting number is this right here. Our stop margin, if we do have to abort, is pretty minimal at 430 feet. Still safe, still gonna be able to do it. That's just a what if number if we had to abort and take off. Otherwise, all that weather is south of Indy. There's that hurricane, or I think it's Tropical Storm Francis now, that's moving along, whatever the heck her name is. And then it'll be smooth skies for us over to Newark. Just over 2 hours, my leg, time to go home. All right, we got Jonathan pushing us back here in Indy. We got you on the audio. Anything you want to tell the people, Jonathan?
Sure. Well, beautiful people, we have a wonderful day for flying today, and so let's get this bird to Newark. And it's good to be back on the airwaves again.
Love it, man. Appreciate your push.
You're welcome.
All right, that's a wrap, folks. We landed in Newark. We're home. Trip ends with a deadhead, so I get to get an extra paid day at home. Gonna grab an Uber. Landed 2-2 left. Nice, beautiful day. City right off of our left landing. Saw my apartment. Can't wait to get there. But people are gonna want to know, Captain, 1 through 10, how did Pilot Pete do on his landing?
He did a very nice job, but he didn't do as good a job as the captain the day earlier, you know. But it was a very nice, so I give him a 9.
9 out of 10.
Yeah,
this is true. Cap landed with the horsies, 10 out of 10, butter. The horses even said it was a great landing. So I still have room to improve, but 9 out of 10, we'll take it. Let's go home. Folks, we made it home. Long ride. Welcome back to New York City. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As always, I hope you enjoyed coming along for the ride. Hit me up on Instagram if you have any questions. Make sure you follow me first so I can actually see them at pilotpete.fly. I'm gonna go enjoy the weekend. It was fun getting back to work after a nice long vacation. Stay safe, be safe. I'll see you next time.